We're outside Old Trafford, speaking to Manchester United fans. We've got 3 questions for him. Who's their player of the season? Who's their top transfer target this summer? And also the big one, who would they rather go clubbing with, Webby or O'Neill? Let us know who you'd rather go with in the comments below. Who's been your player of the season?
You know what, for me it's been Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, he's just come on leap on bounds. And he's probably the best left back in the Premier League at the moment. So
Yeah.
Luke
Do you
Shaw.
think Tellez's arrival has pushed him on with his performances?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's given him the kick up the bum that he's probably needed, to be honest. And you've seen that with his performances. So yeah, it's Luke Shaw for me.
Been outstanding this season,
Yeah,
you agree, mate?
He's been great. And even the goal at City as well this season, yeah, he's been great.
Sean, who's been your player of the season for Manchester United?
100%, it's got to be Bruno.
Okay.
The impact that he's made. Something like 20 odd goals, 17 assists, 45 contributions.
What do you think of Edison Cavani as well this season? Luke Shaw, do you think they're close to it as well?
They're up there. Cavani, for his age, he's been class. Luke Shaw's been consistent all the way through, but Bruno all day long.
Joe, who's been your player of the season?
Oh, my player of the season. Well, you look at all the stats and you look at Fernandes, you can't really look past him. But, you know, there's something about where players have come and where they've developed, and you take that into account. Fernandes came as a world-class player and he's just stayed world-class. Luke Shaw looked a bit like, you know, there was a wobble, especially under Mourinho. He's now fought his way. You say Luke Shaw starting for England at the start of the season, people have laughed you out this way. He'll go into the Euros now and he'll be in that defensive lineup. So I'll give it Shaw, Fernandes. Cavani's just been Cavani, hasn't he? But I'll give it Shaw.
Harry, who's been your player of the season so far?
I'd say Shaw. Most consistent.
Okay.
Improved so much. And it's not just what you do in the season, it's the improvement as the season goes on. And that's what he's done. Some have fallen off. Shaw does the job consistently. He's learning, and he's going to be a fantastic player next year.
Yeah.
He's come on so much this year, and the Euros this year are going to be doing the world of good.
I'd probably go Cavani because he's changed the club with all his goals and just the way he plays.
Yourself, Paul? I would actually agree with that as well. I think with the youngsters coming through, Cavani's done that with his experience.
Standout one's obviously Bruno, but for me, I'd give it Luke Shaw. I think he's come on leaps and bounds, to be fair with you.
Yeah. With Tellez coming in, you think it's pushed him?
Yeah, because to be fair, when we first signed Tellez, I thought he was going to be our number 1. But then obviously he stepped up to the plate, so fair play to him for doing that.
Yeah. Totally agree with you, mate. Look,
his overall games come on, everything, going forward, defensively, just everything. His all-round plays come on leaps and bounds for me.
Most improved player?
Probably Luke Shaw, because before he wasn't playing very well, and he's just improved massively and just played amazing this season.
Champions League, want him to be pushing City, Liverpool every year. I think this year's been difficult for everybody. I know, obviously, just spoke with Paul upstairs at the Q&A thing, and everyone's not had the fans in, so it's affected every club, every team differently. But I think overall, if we'd have, beginning of the season, we'd have probably looked at this and thought, we've progressed.
Player of the season, in your opinion?
Player of the season for me, I think the player's got it right. Luke Shaw, he's had a fantastic season. I've always backed him, fantastic player. If we're looking at most improved, I would say Wan-Bissaka. I think defensively he's been one of the best last season too. But this season he's pushed on. Going forward, he's actually improved his crossing, he's improved going forward. He's more of an attacking threat now as well.
Too many draws?
Yeah.
What's it, 9, 10 draws we've had, haven't we?
Yeah,
So
10.
do you think if we'd have got a couple of them draws in, turned them into wins, we could have challenged City?
Yeah.
And it's pity, innit?
Yeah.
Maybe next year?
Yeah, next year.
You ready for next year?
Yeah, I am.
Come on, United.
Player of the season undoubtedly is Bruno. I think his inspiration, his leadership, ability, 2 great feet, consistent player, most consistent player that we've had. Been delighted to get him on board. He got big praise, accreditation of the boss, Ferguson, this week, Fergie. So I've just been absolutely delighted with him. Don't think we'd be in the same position today without him.
The summer transfer window's nearly upon us. Yeah. Who's your top transfer target Manchester United should buy?
You know what, for me, I think it's Sancho. For me personally, I think we need that right winger, especially with Cavani's form as well. We need someone on the right wing who's going to be supplying him. So yeah, it's Sancho for me.
Does that mean then you want to see Mason Greenwood more up top than central?
Yeah, I think Mason Greenwood, I think eventually he'll play as a striker. He's still quite young, so I don't think he'll be leading the line personally at such a young age. But I think eventually he's got Cavani to learn off. So
in terms of Jadon Sancho, what price tag would you put on him? What's the maximum you'd pay for Sancho?
I think 80. I think about 80 million euros because I know Dortmund last season were quoting mad numbers. So yeah, about 80, 75, 80.
Number one, I think we need a defender because everyone knows what our defence is like.
Yeah.
I'd say Varane, number one. And then if we can get a right winger, if we can afford it, the Glazers, I don't know about the Glazers, but if we can afford it, get Sancho.
Yeah. What would you be price tag on Sancho? What's the maximum you'd probably pay for him?
Well, we offered 90 last summer, so nothing more than that.
Okay. And your centre back would be Varane?
Varane all day.
What's the price tag on there? Roughly 50, 60 million, or do you think he's worth more? Or
50, I say 50 max.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to pay any more.
All right.
Maybe someone who strengthens with Maguire. I don't know if we look at someone who might come and just settle that partnership there. I really do believe Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. I like Wan-Bissaka, I know some people don't, but I think he'll definitely grow like a Luke Shaw character. So then it's finding the missing piece of the puzzle, and that's someone to sit with Maguire. Yeah. I'd definitely take Varane. I think he's got a bit of maturity about him, and definitely something, he's been there and he's done it. So if we want to, because we're in Champions League next year, we've secured that 2 years in the trot now. So if we want to really push forward in that and make sure we're not in the Europa League again, I mean, we're enjoying today, but let's make sure we're not in the Europa League final again. Let's have a Champions League final. He's got the edge, hasn't he? And he knows what he's doing. So I'll take him. But yeah, if someone happens to come in that's a bit of an attacking mind that can score goals, I wouldn't say no. Got Cavani for 1 more year, so let's just see what we can do with him. Let's enjoy it, man.
Top transfer target this summer. Which position would you rather see?
It's got to be, is it Varane?
Marquinhos as well?
Even him, yeah, because it's got to be a half-back, centre-half, call it whatever you want, right, who's going to be winning the ball, Vidic type. That's what we want. Yapstam. That's what we want, without any shadow of doubt. And Maguire will come on leaps and bounds. Even Lindelof, because we've got to keep him. It's a squad, isn't it? Who
would your top transfer target be for Manchester United this summer?
Got to be Haaland, hasn't it? I think Kane's proven. Like, he's the one that would do it for now. He'd be more like the Van Persie. He'd come in and he'd make the big impact. But with Haaland having the 7 years on him, I think that'd be the better investment. But then I also think we do need a top-class centre-back to go over next to Maguire.
Someone like Varane or Marquinhos, do you think?
Someone with a bit of pace that can
complement Maguire.
Don't get me wrong, I do like Lindelof in spells and that. I watch him and I think reminds me of Ferdinand. Yeah, he's miles behind him. I'm not putting him in that same category, but just like he can pass the ball and that, he can ping the ball and that. But for me, I don't think physically he's up to
Premier League.
Yeah, I see him get bullied off too many people for me.
How many signings do you think we need? And in what positions, Tom?
Typically, we're looking at 3 signings a season. If you're asking me, I think 3 or 4. I want a centre-back who can partner with Maguire. We need a right-sided midfielder, and I think, obviously Sancho's been talked about. And I think ultimately Cavani, I'm so glad that he's staying for another season. But I think we do need a long-term centre forward, and whether that's going to be Harry Kane, I don't know. Whether that could be Haaland, I don't know. But I think they're with the 3 positions I'd pick out.
Big question now, mate. Who'd you rather go clubbing with, Webby or O'Neill?
It's a great question. I've got to say Webby. I've nearly been clubbing Webby a couple of times. He's got some mad stories in. We won't tell you. Ask him one of. No, we can't say that. I can't say that.
He's walking that way. Come on, you can. See this.
It involves a night on Canal Street, and let's just say Webby had a wonderful time afterwards. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, big question here for you, Sean. Who'd you rather go clubbing with, Webby or O'Neill? Have a think about it.
Got to say Tony. None of them are here, but I'd say O'Neill all day long.
Okay. But the big question is, the big question is though, do you think you'd get the beers in though?
We'll find out in about 10 minutes time.
Who would you rather go clubbing with, Webby or O'Neill?
Tony O'Neill.
Do you think you'd get the beers in?
Of course he would. With me, he would. Of course he would.
Right, okay.
Got to be O'Neill, hasn't it?
Do you think you'd get the beers in?
Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, but it's got to be O'Neill, hasn't it? It's got to be.
Have you seen him dance?
Seen him do the 2-step.
I've seen that. Well, O'Neill's got one there. He's got a vote, so maybe he'll be out clubbing later on. Hopefully. So we've heard what everyone's had to say. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel. There's plenty more content on there, so have a search for our playlist. There's plenty of it on there to get through the summer, and we will be back shortly. So make sure you press that notification bell. Thank you.